Hi Year 6, hope this finds you well. This doesn't feel right after all the weeks we've had together, but this is another pre-recorded video. It doesn't have the same feel to them, however we'll keep carrying on. Today's a math session and we've got the silver, gold and platinum sheets from the sheets dated the 15th of June, so hopefully you managed to have a go with them before now. If not, why not pause the video, jump onto Corbett 5-Day Maths, the link's in the Class Dojo story message that I posted earlier in the week. Have a go at the sheets and then play the video to check your answers through. Okay, I've had a quick look through the questions. They're pretty straightforward this week, so let's crack on with them. Okay. So starting off with the silver sheet then, the arithmetic questions we've got a straightforward subtraction and a multiplication. So this one, first of all, I'm going to show you two ways. First one's just going to be column subtraction. 5 take away 0 is 5, 2 take 9 and we can't do, so we borrow. 12 take 9 is 3, and 6 take 1 is 5. Okay, 5, 3, 5. The other option we could do is to do 725 take away 200. But then you'll be saying, oh well, we've taken away 10 too many, so we'll add 10 back on. Okay, 725 take away 200 we can do mentally. That will be 525, so it'll be 525 add 10, and that will give us the same answer we had as well. Okay, always remember, before you plough into a calculation, there may be a more straightforward way of working it out. For that one, that's what I would have done. Okay, 8 times 43. For this one, we're just going to use good old short multiplication. Okay, 3 times 8 is 24, and 4 times 8 is 32. Add the 2 that's there, will be 34. 344 is our answer. Okay, I'll just say right now, I've been looking on Times Table Rockstars and on Sumdog the past few days. Some people are doing absolutely brilliantly. Big shout out to Oscar, who's absolutely killing it on Times Table Rockstars at the moment. Okay, on to the next question. It says there are 6,000 Lego bricks in a box. Vicky and Connor take 900 bricks each. Molly, Tim and Roger share the rest of the bricks equally. How many Lego bricks does Molly get? So Molly's in this group of 3 that split whatever's left from 6,000 after Vicky and Connor have taken. They get split between them. So let's find out how many there are when Vicky and Connor have taken theirs. So 6,000 take away 900 is going to leave us with 5,100. Okay, those 5,100 bricks are split between the 3 of them. So let's divide that by 3. Okay, 3's into 5 goes once with 2 left over. 3's into 21 goes 7 exactly, and then 3's into 0, obviously we don't get any, and we don't get any from the other one, so that's 1,700 or 1,700 each for Molly, Tim and Roger. So Molly gets 1,700. Pretty straightforward, I think, there. Right, I'm just going to bring the camera a bit closer for the next one because it involves a reflection of the triangle in the mirror line. So the mirror line is this vertical line going down there. And remember what I've said about reflections. You should take the vertices of the shape and count how many squares there are to the line, and then replicate that on the other side. Okay, so for this one we've got 1, 2, 3. So we're going to do it again. 1, 2, 3 would be there. This one is only 1 square away, so 1 on the other side. And from this one it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we are. Now I'm just, unfortunately I've not got a ruler, so this isn't going to be the neatest. However, I will try. Make it as good as I can. I don't think I've done too bad a job there. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. So remember the skill is, the key skill is counting squares from the vertice to the mirror line and then doing the same on the opposite side. Okay, on to the last question on silver. Absolutely flying through today. Says this pictogram shows how much time Peter spent revising last week. Okay, so we look here. Before we go to the question, remember with any chart or graph, we take time to look at it. So we've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Each circle is worth 2 hours. 2 hours. So a half circle obviously is going to be half that, so that'd be 1 hour. So that'd be 2. I'm just going to put this on it. It's going to make it easier to understand. You might not need to do that. This is what I'm going to do. Just helps me. Okay, so Monday I can see they got 4. Tuesday there was 6. Wednesday there was 3. Thursday there was 4. How much longer did Peter spend revising on Tuesday than Wednesday? Okay, so how much more revision did he do on Tuesday compared to Wednesday? Well, on Tuesday he did 6. On Wednesday he did 3. So on Tuesday he did 3 hours more. Okay, see the difference between there. As always, year 6, doesn't matter what type of graph it is, what type of chart it is. Okay, always take time to look at it before you go into a question. Okay, silver already done. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, so with gold here, we've got a couple of arithmetics at the top. We've got 25 times 14 times 5. Okay, so we know with multiplication, like addition, it doesn't matter what order we do them in. We'll get the same product, the same answer. Okay, now with this one, I don't want to have to do 2 multiplications. Okay, I want to try and save myself some time. Okay, so what I'm going to try and do is do one of the calculations mentally. Okay, so I'm going to do 5 times one of these numbers. Okay, now we could do it either way. It's easy to multiply by 5. You can times the number by 10 and then half it. So if I was doing 14, that would be 140, and half of 140 would be 70. So I'd be doing 25 times 70. However, I know my 25 times table really well. I know that it goes 25, 50, 75, 100, 125, 150, and so on. Well, 25 times 5 is 125. So for this one, I'm going to do 125 times 14. Okay, I do apologise, that wasn't neat. It's just these squares are a bit small for when I'm trying to do it on the video. I want to make sure you can see it. So it's going to be two lots of multiplication. We're going to do 125 times 4 and 125 times 10. Okay, so I'm just going to make a note of that here. Okay, I'm going to put my 0 in there to start us off, and then we'll start. So 5 times 4 is 20, 2 times 4 is 8, add the 2 is 10, 1 times 4 is 4, add the 1 is 5, 125 times 4 is 500. And now we've got 125 times 10. However, as soon as we know what 125 times 10 is without having to do this, we know it's going to be 1,250. Okay, now I can just do my adding up. 0 and 0, 0, 0 and 5, 5, 5 and 2, 7, 1 on its own, 1,750. Okay, and like we said at the start, if I'd have done 25 times 70, I'd have still got the same answer. Okay, it doesn't matter with multiplication like addition, which order I do them in. Okay, on to the next one, 75% of 608. 75% is a key percentage. Okay, it's related to a key fraction. Okay, that key fraction is 3/4. Okay, so 75% of 608 is the same as 3/4 of 608. Okay, so to work out 3/4 of something, first of all, I'm going to divide by 4, then I'm going to times by 3. Because dividing by 4 will give me 1/4, and then timesing by 3 will give me 3/4. Okay, so first of all, 608 divided by 4. Okay, now I could half it twice, but for this one I'm just going to use bus stop method, short division. 4s into 6 go once with 2 left over. 4s into 20 goes 5 with no remainders, and 4s into 8 goes twice exactly. Okay, so a quarter of 608 is 152. Now all I need to do is times that by 3. 2 times 3 is 6, 5 times 3 is 15, 1 times 3 is 3, add the 1 is 4. So there we go, 456 is 3 quarters of 608, or 75% of 608. It's exactly the same thing. Right. On to the next, the reasoning part. 30% of the children in a class are left-handed. There are 20 students in the class. How many children are right-handed? Okay. Make sure we've read this correctly. It says 30% are left-handed. It wants to know how many are right-handed. Well, if 30% are left-handed, that means 70% are right-handed. Okay, so we've got 20 students altogether. Okay, if I want to find out 70%, or 30% for that matter, first of all I'm going to find out 10%. Okay, and I find 10% by dividing the whole by 10. So 20 divided by 10 is 2. So 10% of the class is 2. To find 70%, I just times that number by 7. 2 times 7, 14. Okay, 14 children in the class are right-handed. Okay, just to double check that the left and the rights both add up to 20. Okay, the other one would be 30%, which would be 3 times 10%, 3 times 2, that would have been 6. 14 add 6 gives us 20 as a whole. Okay, so there we go, we've got 14 right-handed. The next one, I was gobsmacked when I saw this, that this was on a gold question. Possibly the easiest question we've had for several weeks. The first 3 prime numbers. Well, in math sessions for months before lockdown, we were drilling the prime numbers up to 20. Okay, so I'm going to change this. I want you to give me the prime numbers up to 20. Okay, if you've already done this and you haven't done that, pause the video now and just quickly scribble them down. Okay, so prime numbers, we know only have 2 factors. No more, no less. Okay, so the first few prime numbers up to 20 are 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, and 19. Okay, so the first 3 that it was looking for would have been those, obviously. Okay, but they're the rest up to 20. Really, at year 6, you only have to be able to name them up to 20. However, I'd be looking for my year 6s to know that a prime number only has 2 factors, 1 and itself. Okay. Someone, if you'd like, if you want to message me once you see this video, tell me what is special about 2 as a prime number. Okay? Why is it unique? As a prime number, why is it unique? Okay, and then finally, on to the last one on gold. We've got a shape there that's made of 2 identical squares and 2 identical rectangles. We need to work out the perimeter. So the perimeter is going to be the distance all the way around the outside. Okay? Now, we know the length of the rectangles. We know the width of the squares, which also means we know this width here. Okay? Now, what I'd be looking here is we've got 2 different lengths. We've got 6.4 and a 4.5. So I'm going to do all the 6.4s we've got and then times that together. And all the 4.5s we've got and times it by that many. Okay, so we've got 4.5 times by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're going to have 6.4 times 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now there are several different routes we could take with this one. We could work out what half of it is and double it. Okay. However, I'm just going to go for this one here because it's a little bit more arithmetic practice. Okay. So 4.5 times 6, 5 times 6 gives us 30. 4 times 6 is 24. Add the 3 is 27. Okay. 27 centimetres. And 6.4 times 4. Okay, 4 times 4 is 16. 6 times 4 is 24. Add the 1 is 25. Okay, so if I have 27 and 25.6 added together, just going to add that onto the bottom there, save myself some rewriting. So 0 add 6 is 6, 7 add 5 is 12. Carry that over, 2, 2 and 1 is 5. 52.6 centimetres. Okay, as a perimeter around the outside. Okay, super duper. Okay, already on to platinum then. And straight away, with the arithmetic on platinum, we are faced with a ridiculously easy fractions question. Because multiplication of fractions is the easiest type of calculations to do with fractions. All we have to do is multiply the numerators together and the denominators together. If we can simplify them afterwards, that's a bonus. But all we've got to do is 5 times 9, 45, and 6 times 10, 60. Okay? From there, we just have to simplify it. Okay? So if I bring this down here, 45 over 60. The easiest way of simplifying it right to the simplest form is to think of the highest common factor of both numbers. The highest common factor of both these numbers is 15. Okay, so if I think how many 15s go into 45, that's 3. And how many go into 60? That's 4. So it's 3/4. Now, you don't actually have to simplify it unless it tells you to, and it didn't say to here. I just went that a little bit further. Okay, so if you're not too confident doing that, you could have left it at 45 over 60 and still got the mark. However, if you know how to do it, there's no reason, nothing to stop you. Okay? Right. I'm just going to show you a little trick up here that would have got you to this simplified answer straight away. Okay, if you can find between the numerators and the denominators, okay, of the different parts of the two fractions, a common factor and divide it by that, okay, you can reduce the fractions down before you even begin multiplying. So like with 5 and 10, I know that 5 goes into both those numbers, so I'm going to divide them both by 5. So I'll be left with 1 here and 2 here. With 6 and 9, I know that 3 goes into both those numbers. So I'm going to divide 6 by 3 and I'll get 2. Divide 9 by 3 and I'll get 3. If I now do the multiplications, I've got 1 times 3 gives me 3. 2 times 2 gives me 4. 3/4. Straight to our simplified fraction. That's because I could reduce them down before I even began. I did show that trick to a couple of people back in January. Okay, don't worry if you don't quite get that. That's quite an advanced little trick. Okay, but all you've got to do is spot common factors between the different parts of the fractions. On to the next one. We've got 96 add 4 times 5. Now, that does not mean we're just going to do 96 add 4, which is 100, and times by 5 and get 500. It's not as straightforward as that because we have BODMAS. Okay. We have to think about the order of our calculations. We have an addition there and we have a multiplication. And according to BODMAS, we have to start with multiplication, then do the addition. So, first of all, we're going to do 4 times 5. Okay, 4 times 5, you all know is 20. So it will be 96 add 20. Okay, that's a straightforward calculation to do, isn't it? Our answer will be 116. Okay, very different from 500. Okay, we've got 2 or 3 questions left to go, and then we're going to be finished already. On to the next reasoning. We've got a little bit of calculating to do here, to be honest, but it's nothing we shouldn't be able to do. These are the prices for school dinners in a primary school. £8 will pay for 5 school dinners for one child. £8, 5 school dinners, one child. Key facts. £62 will pay for school dinners for 2 children for 20 days. 62 for 2 children over 20 days. £8 will pay for 5 school dinners for one child. Work out the cost of one of the school dinners. Okay, so for that, all we have to do is divide the 8 by 5. Okay, so I'm going to do that in a bus stop. Now, you can see what's going to happen. We're going to get into decimals, or pounds and pence, because that's £8, isn't it? Okay, so I should put a pound sign there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to preempt this. I'm just going to put a couple of decimal places. Might not need all of them, I don't know yet, but I'm just going to put them there. And because I put a decimal point there, I'm going to put one above it that's in line. Okay, because I know that my answer is going to be decimals. 5 doesn't go into 8 exactly. Okay, now I can start. 5's into 8, goes once, and I have 3 left over. 5's into 30, goes 6, no leftovers. 5's into 0, 0. There we go. We've got a price there. It's £1.60. Okay, one dinner is £1.60. The next one says £62 will pay for school dinners for 20 days for 2 children. Work out the cost of one of the school dinners for one child. Okay, so with this one, we've got £62. We're going to have to divide it by 20 and then divide it by 2. Okay, doesn't matter which way around we do it. So first of all, I'm going to divide it by 2 because that's an easy halving, isn't it? So 62 divided by 2 is 31. Okay, and then I'm going to do 31 divided by 20. Now, I should really have to go into a long division for that because it's divided by 20. It's a times table we don't know. However, I could break 20 into 10 and 2. And I can divide a number by 10 very easily. Okay? 31 divided by 10 is 3.1, or when we're talking about money, £3.10. Now I've got £3.10 divided by 2, because I broke this into divide by 2, then divide by 10, didn't I? So I've done that bit. Now I just need to divide it by 2. £3.10 divided by 2 is half of £3.10. I'm going to do this bit mentally to get me to my answer. Half of £3 is £1.50. Half of 10 pence is 5 pence. So add those together, I'm going to have £1.55. Okay. I can see there, comparing it back to my earlier one, it's a similar-ish price. And most of the time, when you're paying for things in bulk, like paying for in a lump sum, like paying for over 20 days, they tend to get a little bit cheaper. So that looks like it's an appropriate answer. And finally, on to the last one. It says this quite simply. It says simplify 2a, add 7b, take away a, add 3b. Okay, so what it means by simplify is basically write that out, but not using as many characters. Okay, so we've got A's and B's here. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to what I call caterpillar it. I'm going to break it up into a bit of a caterpillar. And I need to include the positives and the negative signs. Okay, and the positives and negatives correspond to the numbers that come after them. Okay, so the plus here is for the 7b, the takeaway here is for the a, and the plus on the end is for the 3b. Now the one at the start, the 2a, doesn't have one, so we assume that's a plus. Okay, if it doesn't have a minus, it's a plus. And then all we need to think about is how many a's we've got and how many b's we've got. Well, a's says here we've got plus 2, and plus 3. Okay, so altogether we've got plus 5. Okay, or 5. We've got, oh sorry, excuse me, I made a mistake. I was doing A's and B's. Let's rewind. A's and B's. We've got A's here and we've got an A here. Here we've got plus 2 and here we've got a minus A. Now there's no number there, so that's just one of them. Okay, when it's just one thing we don't put number 1, it's just A. So we've got plus 2, take away 1. Okay, well if these were apples, if I had 2 apples, take away an apple, I'd be left with 1 apple, or A. Like we said, when it's just 1, we don't write the number. How many B's have we got then? We've got plus 7 here, let's say bananas. We've got 7 here, plus 3 more bananas over here. Well, that means we've got 10. And is it positive or negative? Well, it's positive. Okay? There we go. Okay, we've got 1A and 10B. Okay, we've simplified it, we've gathered it together. That is a lot simpler than that there. And that is that done. That's silver done. That's gold and platinum. Right, year 6. I hope that was okay. If there's anything in there that you think, oh, I need a little bit more time spent on that, by all means, send me a quick message. If there's something or a certain question which you weren't too sure about, I'll see if I can post you in the direction of other things to help you. Otherwise, I shall see you tomorrow for our punctuation session. I think that's the one for proofreading. Okay, finishing off the last task in that book as well. We finished off the grammar one yesterday, didn't we? Okay, well today. Okay, and right, I shall speak to you soon. But for now, it's Mr. I. Bye for now.